Hey everyone, so today we're going to talk about something that feels like it's been pulled right out of a sci-fi movie. We're talking about the idea of creating an entire video game just by typing a sentence.
No, really think about that for a second. No coding, no complicated software, just you and your imagination. You could just type in, I don't know, a photorealistic ancient Rome I can walk through, and poof, it's there.
And look, this isn't some fantasy for 20 years from now. This is happening right now. The first big pieces of this puzzle are already falling into place, and some of the biggest names in tech are rolling out stuff that promises to do, well, exactly this. So let's get into it.
All right, so first up, we really have to start with Google DeepMind. Their project, which they're calling Genie, has been making some huge waves. And we're not talking about the old version. We're talking about the brand new Genie 3, which just got revealed to a handful of people.
Okay, so take a look at this. The jump from Genie 2 to Genie 3 is just massive. And yeah, sure, the resolution's better, the frame rate's smoother, whatever. But that's not the real story here. The big deal is going from video generation to real-time WSAD navigation. You know what that means? It's the difference between the AI making a little movie for you and you actually getting to step inside that movie and walk around. That is a gigantic leap forward.
And the stuff this thing can do is just wild. We're not just talking about an AI that can spit out a pretty picture. We're talking about something that understands physics, like how water moves, how reflections work, how shadows fall. It can spin up entire ecosystems. And here's the crazy part. You can change it all in real time. Like you could be walking through a forest, type "make it rain," and bam, it starts raining, just like that.
So, that all sounds absolutely incredible, right? But, and this is a huge but, this brings us to the single most important question in this entire discussion. Is the thing that Genie creates, is it actually a game? Or is it something else?
And this is where the hype kind of meets reality. Just look at all the stuff that's missing here. There's no way to use items, no combat, not even an inventory. But even deeper than that, there's no game logic. No score, no quests, no way to win or lose. And the sessions only last a few minutes. So really, it's not a game. It's more like a really fancy, explorable video.
And you don't have to take my word for it. Someone on the game dev subreddit really just hit the nail on the head. They said it's still no persistence, logic, or actual gameplay. That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it?
Oh, and one more thing. Let's talk about actually getting your hands on this. This is not some free tool for every creator out there. Nope. Right now, it's a prototype, and you can only access it if you have the Google AI Ultra subscription, which is $25 a month, and it's only in the US. So yeah, this is not for everybody, at least not yet.
So, okay, if Genie 3 is basically just a beautiful world generator, then who's going to build the actual game part? Well, this is where things get really interesting because other companies are jumping in and they're all trying to solve different pieces of this super complicated puzzle.
Check this out. A company called Yoroll.ai has this really fascinating idea. They're tackling one of the biggest problems with AI like this: hallucinations. Where the AI just kind of forgets what happened a second ago? Their solution is a 3-layer system that, boiled down, just separates the pretty visuals from the cold, hard facts of the game. So here's how it breaks down. You've got the expression layer at the top. Think of that as Genie. It's just making all the cool visuals. Then there's the judgment layer. This is like an AI referee that's literally watching the screen and figuring out what you did. Like, okay, he picked up the sword. And finally, you have the state layer, which is just a boring old database. It keeps track of the important stuff like your HP and what's in your inventory. So even if the visuals get all weird and glitchy, the game knows you still have that sword. It's a super clever way to get the best of both worlds.
Now, let's look at a completely different way to do this. A company called Rosebud AI is taking the exact opposite approach. They're not making an interactive video stream. Their AI writes actual game code. So think about it this way. Genie gives you this jaw-droppingly beautiful world that you can't really change or do anything with. Rosebud gives you a much simpler, maybe indie-looking game, but it's a real game, one you can actually modify and distribute. These are two totally different philosophies for how to build an AI game.
Okay, let's bring this all back down to earth. What does this mean for you, the solo dev, the indie creator, right now? Let's look at a real-world example. There's this little game portal called eastsea.monster, and it's full of these simple, handmade games. And this chart just lays it all out, right? One of those little games from eastsea.monster. The game logic is perfect and reliable. It's consistent. You can play it offline on one single file forever. Now look at an AI game like Genie 3. The visuals? Photorealistic, amazing. But the logic? It's not there. It's unreliable.
It needs a constant connection to a massive cloud server. It really shows you that for now, the stuff that actually makes a game fun, that's still in the hands of human designers. So, if you're a dev, what's your game plan? What should you be doing? Well, the smart move seems to be a hybrid one. Like today, in the next few months, use AI to speed up making your art. It's a no-brainer. Then in the next year or so, start using AI code generators to quickly build and test out new ideas. And then, looking a few years down the road, that's when you can start experimenting with these hybrid models. Using AI to generate the stunning worlds, but plugging in your own solid code to handle the actual gameplay.
Which brings us to our final and maybe most important point. We started this whole thing talking about engineless gaming, but honestly, that's probably the wrong way to think about it. This isn't really about replacing game engines. It's about adding a brand new, incredibly powerful layer on top of everything we already have.
I mean, just think about how we've made games over the years, right? First, it was super low level, controlling the hardware directly. Then came game engines, which took care of all that for us. Then came visual scripting, which made the engines even easier to use. Now we're seeing prompt programming, where you just tell an AI what code to write. And the final frontier here is prompt rendering, where something like Genie just creates the world, frame by frame. Every single step along the way has been about making it easier for more people to create.
So here's the bottom line. AI isn't the death of the game engine, not even close. It's the next layer. It's a tool that's going to empower a whole new generation of creators to build worlds that we can't even begin to imagine right now. So the real question isn't, will AI replace developers? The real question is, what incredible new things are developers going to build with AI? And that is a pretty exciting future to think about.